How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI, which pulled off another 52-week low on the day. Another pullback inside of the market. So we'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.95, being down 6.21%. On the low, it tested $6.93, and then on the high, testing $7.36. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 55.991 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 52.325 million shares. So we did have above average volume on the day, but we've seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 32.38. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And as you can clearly see, SOFI is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages, and it also continues to make new 52-week lows. We saw a low of $6.93, and we closed at $6.95. So going into tomorrow, if we see some more weakness in SOFI, then I want to see if we can get down to around $6.70 and see if we have some sort of support start kicking in. If not, then I could see SOFI getting to around $6.50. If you're going to be looking for a reversal, you need to see it make a move going back to $8. So far, it's just been making lower highs, and we continue to see their selling pressure in the stock. But that's why I said if it can get back to $8, build some support, consolidate, then I want to see it get to the 21-day EMA and see if it could actually hold this area at $8.33. If so, we do have earnings that is coming up on May the 10th. So maybe that might be the fuel that SOFI needs to get it, to see if we can actually get in to fill in the gap at $8.50 and see if we can make a potential move going to $9. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we have Independent Wealth Network that purchased 11,280 shares, and then we also have PMC Diversified Equity Fund that purchased 13,033 shares, and we also have a closed position from Great Valley Advisors Group Inc. As far as for April the 19th, we have Farmers and Merchants Investment Inc. that purchased 20,000 shares as well, and we do see some more closed positions here. So now let's move on to the short interest. The off-exchange short volume ratio is at 33.87%, and then for the off-exchange short volume being just over 6.26 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.7 million, updated 24 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 1.81%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 18th, it's at 52.57, and then for the close of the 19th being at 33.87. So that is a significant difference right there, but what this shows us, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential, with the short interest percentage of the float being at 17.96%. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflows at 60.79 million, and then on the outflows at 66.79 million. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 37.06, and then on the small it was 23.73. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 6.39, on the medium it was 36.02, and then on the small it is 24.38. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, April the 20th, we had an outflow of 6.39 million, and we also did have an outflow day on the 19th for 0.9 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 6.79%. So this is a consistent range for a volatile stock like SOFI. It normally trades at relatively high volume. And since it's continuing to test 52-week lows, that's why I'm seeing a lot of pressure on the stock. So let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, when it comes to the price action, if you're looking for a bullish reversal, of course you need to get back to $8. Most preferably getting to $8.33. And upon doing that, we know there's a gap that needs to be filled to the upside at $8.50. Could we see a run up like this as it gets closer towards earnings, which is on May the 10th? Maybe. But for now, I don't see that happening as of yet, but I will continue to keep you guys updated when we see a reverse in the trend. As far as for the downside is concerned, it is continuing to make 52-week lows. We saw a low at $6.93. So if it decides to pull back even further, I would want to see if support could actually come in around $6.71. If not, then we could see SOFI getting to $6.50. The reason why I'm bringing this to your attention, so you'll be prepared, so you're not concerned, especially if you're a long-term investor and you believe in the long-term prospects. You want to continue to keep an eye on the stock as it continues to pull back, because what we know for a fact, there is demand in the market for SOFI, but currently with the conditions that we have and seeing that there's weakness inside of tech, SOFI is not going to be benefiting from this, and we have to take into consideration the 10-year yield. So SOFI is a company that is working on being consistently profitable, and since they're not there as of yet, these particular type of growth stocks carry a lot of risk, and that's part of the reasons why we're seeing a big time sentiment change inside of this play. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see that there is some interest, but we also can't forget the fact when taking a look at the short interest, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So the moment we have a catalyst or we have some buying pressure coming into this play, then I can see strength in SOFI and it making some strong moves in price action. We've seen this many times in the past, but from what it's looking like right now, if we don't have any catalyst or we don't see a lot more strength or more buying coming into tech, SOFI could continue to make 52-week lows and show weakness in the market. But as a long-term investor, and if you believe in the long-term prospect and you're willing to hold on to this stock due to its upside potential, I think it's definitely worth some consideration. I know I sound like a broken record here, but please do your homework and do your due diligence. This is very key, because at least if you have high conviction, you don't mind loading up on the dips. If you see a stock pulling back and you don't want to load up on the dips whatsoever, you're concerned, you're worried, then you shouldn't have been in that play in the first place. So let's see how SOFI performs going into tomorrow, and I will continue to keep you guys inside of the loop. We'll talk soon.